Yes, okay, we live in a time of rapid change. Up is down and down is up. But this car, the Toyota Corolla Hybrid, represents change of the most unexpected kind.
When Toyota's Prius arrived more than 20 years ago, the idea of a petrol engine and electric motor working together to power a car was considered exotic and suitable for automotive fringe dwellers only. A Prius in the driveway was a badge of honour for proud eco-warriors.
Of course, over time, the shockingly new becomes the norm, with numerous brands putting hybrid models into the mainstream. And it's the job of full battery electric vehicles to be the high-tech icebreakers.
So in recent years, as interest in the Prius began to slow, its hybrid heart was transplanted into the country's best-selling passenger car, the evergreen Corolla.
And this is the current Corolla hatch in mid-spec SX grade.
At just over $28,000 before on-road costs, it compares with semi-premium versions of the usual small hatch suspects like the Hyundai i30, Mazda 3, VW Golf and Honda Civic.
And you can check out how the Corolla fared against the Hyundai i30 and Mazda 3 in senior editor Matt Campbell's three-way comparison test at carsguide.com.au.
But of course, this particular Corolla's biggest point of difference resides under the bonnet, and we'll get to the ins and outs of its hybrid drivetrain shortly. But first, some housekeeping.
It's always a subjective call, but I reckon this car's design lifts the Corolla from white goods on wheels to positively charismatic.
Sadly, our test example's black finish masks a lot of exterior detail, but this roller definitely drops the mercury towards the cool zone.
The interior is sleek and contemporary, with the dash dominated by this 8-inch media touchscreen, and there's a 4.2-inch digital screen in the instrument binnacle, which is a nice touch. There's plenty of storage around the cabin. There's a medium-sized glove box, a little hidey hole here, as well as a couple of cup holders in the centre. There are 2 cup holders in the fold-down armrest in the rear, as well as it will fit bottles in the doors, but not upright in the front. They have to kind of slide down, and there are separate cup holders in the doors in the back.
But here's a quick refresher on how tight the rear door opening is. And how limited the boot space is. But it's worth noting the big ticket safety boxes are ticked, including AEB with pedestrian and cyclist detection, active cruise, lane departure alert, auto high beam and blind spot monitor. And don't forget, you can read my detailed review including standard specification, a full safety rundown, as well as servicing and ownership costs at carsguide.com.au.
So what makes this Corolla special? This is a modified version of the powertrain found in the current Prius. It's a 1.8 litre petrol engine supported by a main electric motor providing drive to the front wheels,
as well as combined petrol and electric drive. Then there's a second motor generator to recharge the hybrid battery.
It's about 30% less powerful, but 30% more fuel efficient than its 2 litre petrol-only equivalent, not to mention $1,500 dearer. But does the hybrid setup help or hinder the Corolla in its natural habitat? The city crawl and the suburban sprawl. So the curb weight on this hybrid Corolla is actually fractionally lighter than the 2 litre petrol-only equivalent, but the electric motor and the internal combustion engine combine seamlessly to provide pretty brisk acceleration from step-off. And the mid-range is quite strong, and this CVT,
it's Toyota's own take on continuously variable transmission technology. And while there's still some droniness under firm acceleration, which is almost inevitable with this setup, it does a good job.
Eco mode limits the accelerator's sensitivity, and it's best in stop-start driving. And it also reduces the power draw from things like the air conditioning and other accessories. EV mode is electric only, and it's only for short distances and for a relatively short period of time. but it offers another really good, not to mention silent, thick traffic option. The suspension is by struts at the front and multi-links at the rear, and this car sits on Toyota's new TNGA platform, and the ride is really like a magic carpet. It rides like a much longer car. It's very good. The steering, which not surprisingly is electromechanically assisted, feels good. It's well weighted, and the on-centre feel inspires confidence. And road feel is surprisingly good. You really do get a connection with the front tyres. The regenerative braking system means that initial feel on the brake pedal is a little spongy. The system actually uses electrical resistance to slow the car and harvest energy at the same time. And B under D, on the shift pattern here next to the gear shift, means that you can have additional engine braking from the petrol engine. Despite a slight power deficit to its 2-litre petrol-only counterpart, the unique characteristics of the Corolla Hybrid's powertrain make it a pleasure to steer through the urban jungle. Working on an average of 15,000 kilometres a year and petrol at around $1.30 a litre, it'll take you 4 years to reach a financial break-even between this car and the petrol equivalent, which means you can have your environmental cake and save money while you're eating it. Matinee. If you want to know more, you can read my full review at carsguide.com.au. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe.